Hey guys, tonight we're staying up way past bedtime. The words slip out like breath fogging a window in winter. I'm sitting cross-legged on the teacher's desk in room 204, the one with the wobbly leg that always squeaks when someone shifts weight. Outside, rain taps the glass in uneven Morse code, as if the storm itself is trying to warn me. The fluorescent tubes overhead hum a low, insect buzz, the kind that makes your fillings ache if you listen too long. You probably won't make it to morning after this one. I left the hallway door cracked open just enough for the draft to creep in, carrying the smell of wet tile and old paper. Somewhere down the corridor, a locker slams by itself, sharp, metallic, final. I flinch. The sound ricochets inside my ribcage. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Drop your city and local time in the comments. I always read them when the sun comes up, if it comes up. Now, dim the lights, maybe crack open a window for that midnight breeze, and let's walk the halls together. It started 3 nights ago, but the memory feels older, like something pressed between yearbook pages. I'd stayed late to finish a history project. Our school, Westbridge High, was built in 1959 on the bones of an older building that burned down during a senior prank gone wrong. That's the factual anchor they drill into every freshman tour. Brick over ashes, new lockers bolted where the old cafeteria collapsed. The basement still has the original concrete, cracked and patched with tar that smells like roadwork when it rains. I was alone, or thought I was, until the substitute walked in. Mr. Harrow, tall, gray at the temples, tie the color of dishwater. He wasn't on the staff list. The office had called in sick for Mrs. Lang, and he just appeared. No clipboard, no roll sheet, just a manila folder thick with yellowed paper. He shut the door behind him with a soft click that sounded too deliberate. "Evening," he said, voice like chalk dragged slow across a clean board. "You're the last one." I mumbled something about the project, but he wasn't looking at my poster board. His eyes, pale, almost colorless, were fixed on the class roster taped inside the door. 30 names, mine near the bottom. He traced a finger down the list, pausing at 3 I'd never noticed before. Evelyn Hart, Malcolm Reeve, Clara Dumont. Crossed out in red ink that looked fresh. "Tell me," he said, leaning against the desk, "do Evelyn, Malcolm, or Clara ever visit?" The rain answered with a harder rattle. I laughed, because what else do you do when a stranger asks about dead kids? Everyone knows the rumor. 1963, chemistry fire, 3 seniors trapped when the stairwell collapsed. Their names are on a plaque by the gym, but no one says them aloud after dark. Urban legend 101. "They're gone," I said. "Like decades gone." Mr. Harrow smiled without warmth. "Memories graduate too, eventually." Then he opened the folder and slid a photograph across the desk. Black and white, edges curled. The 1963 senior class, posed on the front steps. I recognized the pillars, the cracked bell above the entrance. And there, front row, were the 3 names, smiling like they'd never burn. Curiosity tugged me closer. The photo was crisp, too crisp for something 50 years old. I could see the texture of Evelyn's cardigan, the scuff on Malcolm's shoe. Mr. Harrow watched me like a teacher waiting for the right answer. That's when the PA system crackled overhead, even though the office closed at 4. A single chime, the kind that precedes morning announcements. Then a girl's voice, faint, underwater. "First period begins now." Fear slid in, cold as the draft under the door. I looked up. The speaker grill glowed soft amber, pulsing like a heartbeat. Mr. Harrow didn't flinch. He simply closed the folder and said, "Some lessons were never meant to be taught." The lights flickered once, twice, then steadied. When I looked back, he was gone. Door still shut, lock still thrown. Only the photograph remained, and on the back, someone had written in red, "See me after class." I think some lessons were never meant to be taught. The rain eased to a whisper. I pocketed the photo, heart drumming against my ribs, and stepped into the hallway. Lockers stretched both ways, dim emergency bulbs painting everything bruise purple. Somewhere far off, a projector clicked on, reel spinning, film flapping. I followed the sound because curiosity is louder than fear, at least at first. Room 108, the AV closet no one uses anymore. Door ajar, blue-white light strobing across the floor. Inside, an old bell and howl sat on a cart, threads spinning through the gate. No cord in the wall. On the screen, grainy footage of the 1963 homecoming dance. Kids in saddle shoes and bouffants, laughing without sound. Then the camera panned to the three, Evelyn waving, Malcolm spinning Clara under the gym lights. The film looped, same 10 seconds over and over, but each cycle their smiles stretched wider, eyes darker. I reached for the power button. My fingers passed through cold metal. The projector kept running. Behind me, the door swung shut. Click. Revelation settled like dust. I wasn't alone, and the school remembered better than any of us. The projector's fan whirs like a trapped moth, throwing blue light across the AV closet walls. I back into a stack of film cans. They clatter, spilling reels that unspool across the floor in silver snakes. The looped footage keeps dancing. Evelyn's wave, Malcolm's spin, Clara's laugh frozen mid-note. I grab the door handle. Locked. Of course. The knob is cold enough to sting, brass gone slick with condensation that wasn't there a minute ago. I pound once. The sound swallows itself. No echo, just a dull thud, like the building inhaled. That's when I remember the master key ring janitors leave in the library return slot. Realistic anchor. Every Thursday, Mr. Delgado forgets it in the metal box after shelving returns. Tonight is Thursday. If I can get there, I'm out. But the projector clicks louder. The film burns white, then resolves into a new image. The same gym, but empty. Moonlight stripes the bleachers. The camera tilts down to the polished floor, and 3 sets of footprints appear, wet, bare, leading toward the lens. They stop inches from the gate. A hand presses against the inside of the screen, palm first, fingers splayed. Evelyn's class ring glints. The glass bulges, but doesn't break. I stumble backward over the film cans, crash into the supply shelf. A box tumbles, labeled Yearbooks 1950 to 1970, basement storage. The lid pops, dust billows, thick as chalk erase. I cough, wave it away, and the books slide out on their own, fanning across the floor like a deck of cards. 1963 lands face up. The cover is cracked red leatherette, gold lettering flaking. Someone has dog-eared the senior portraits. Curiosity wins again. I kneel. The pages smell of mildew and the copper tang that lingers after lightning. First photo. Evelyn Hart. Caption most likely to vanish. Cheesy yearbook humor, except the ink looks wet. I touch it, smears crimson across my thumb. Next page, Malcolm Reeve. Class clown, gone too soon. The photo is wrong. His eyes are scratched out with a ballpoint, deep gouges that score the emulsion. Clara's portrait is last. Someone has taped a lock of real hair, blonde, singed at the ends, across her smile. I flip faster. The index lists all 3 on the honor roll: debate team, chemistry club, normal kids. Then the candid section, a grainy shot of the trio in Lab 12, safety goggles fogged, holding a beaker that glows soft green. The caption reads, "Future scientists, 3:15 p.m., March 14th. Same day as the fire. The projector behind me sputters. The footprints on screen fade, replaced by live feed, security cam style, of the library right now. Empty tables, moonlight striping the carpet. The return slot glows. The key ring dangles, spinning slow. An invitation. Fear coils tight. I stand, yearbook clutched to my chest like a shield. The AV closet door creaks open by itself, just wide enough for a body. Cold air rushes in, carrying the faint smell of burnt sugar and sulfur. Down the hall, the library is 30 yards, past the trophy case and the drinking fountain that always tastes metallic. I step out. Lockers gleam under emergency lights, each door reflecting me 1,000 times. Distorted, stretched, wrong. My reflection lags half a second, like bad Wi-Fi. I walk faster. The yearbook grows heavier. Pages rustle without wind. Halfway there, the PA hisses again. This time it's Malcolm's voice, crackly, adolescent. Library's closed, but the books remember. A giggle, Clara's, then static. I reach the library doors. Glass panels, push-bar handles. Inside, the return slot key ring spins faster, glinting. I shove through. The doors sigh shut behind me. The library is darker than it should be. The overheads are off. Only the green exit sign bleeding color. Rows of shelves stand like tombstones. I head for the slot. My shoes squeak, too loud. The yearbook opens itself in my arms. A new page has appeared, not there before. A floor plan of the school, hand-drawn in red ink. Arrows snake from Lab 12 to the basement, labeled shortcut. A sticky note in childish scrawl. Bring the book. I grab the keys. Cold metal, heavier than expected. One key is tagged basement, do not duplicate. The others are normal, but this one vibrates, a low buzz against my palm. Revelation lands soft as a moth. The yearbooks aren't records, they're invitations. Behind me, a book thumps to the floor. Then another. An avalanche starts, spines cracking, pages flapping like wings. I spin. The shelves are emptying themselves, books gliding out, stacking into a path that points toward the circulation desk. On the desk sits a card catalog drawer, pulled open. Inside, a single Polaroid. I know before I pick it up. Me, tonight, standing in this exact spot, yearbook in hand. The timestamp reads 11:47 p.m., 7 minutes from now. The PA crackles one last time. Detention begins in the basement. I think some lessons were never meant to be taught. The keys jingle as I run. The library doors burst open ahead of me. The hallway beyond is lit by strobing fluorescence, like a seizure in slow motion. Lockers bang in rhythm. Bang, 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 like a heartbeat. I clutch the yearbook, the Polaroid, the buzzing key, and sprint toward the stairwell that smells of wet concrete and old smoke. The stairwell door sighs shut behind me, sealing with the wet click of a tongue. I'm on the landing between floors, the one where the paint peels in long curls, and the railing is wrapped in caution tape no one ever removes. The air down here is thicker, like breathing through a damp towel. My phone flashlight cuts a narrow cone, enough to see the PA speaker mounted high on the cinder block wall, its grill crusted with decades of nicotine-colored dust. It shouldn't work. The system was rewired in 2018 after a lightning strike fried the old cables. That's the anchor. Work order hashtag 2018-47, still taped inside the janitor's closet. Yet the speaker glows faint orange, the color of a dying cigarette. I start down. Each step is a drumbeat. The yearbook under my arm feels warm now, pulsing like skin. Halfway to the basement, the PA crackles. Not the usual hiss, but a deliberate throat clear. Then Evelyn's voice, clear as the day she recorded the morning announcements in '63. Good evening, Westbridge. This is your substitute host. Roll call for third period. A pause. Paper rustles. Evelyn Hart, present. My foot freezes mid-step. The concrete under my sneaker is wet, puddled, reflective. I shine the light down. Footprints, small and bare, lead the way I'm going. They steam. Malcolm Reeve. The voice continues, playful. Present. A boy's laugh, muffled, like it's coming through a pillow. I force myself lower. The stairwell narrows, the walls sweat. The mythic element arrives on schedule. Every school has a ghost broadcast rumor, kids sneaking in after hours to hijack the intercom with prank songs. Except no one's done it since the '90s, when the FCC threatened fines. Tonight the system is alive on its own, and it knows names. Clara Dumont, present. A soft giggle, then the line goes dead. Silence rushes, and so completely I hear my pulse in my ears. The basement door is steel, paint blistered from steam leaks. The do not duplicate key slides in smooth as butter. The lock turns with a sound like a jaw unhinging. I push. The door swings inward on hinges that haven't squeaked in years. Oiled recently, maybe tonight. The basement stretches long and low, lit by a single string of work lamps someone strung along the ceiling pipe. They flicker in sequence, chasing shadows ahead of me. Lockers line both walls. Old ones, pre-1970, dinted and olive drab, the kind with combination dials instead of keys. A plaque reads, Temporary Storage, Fire Relocation 1963. Realistic anchor. After the chemistry blaze, they moved everything down here until the new wing was built. Most of it never came back up. I walk the aisle. My phone light catches padlocks dangling open, chains pulled like dead snakes. Each locker door bears a faded paper tag, handwritten in fountain pen ink. Names, not current students. I stop at Evelyn's. The dial is set to 19 to 63, the year everything ended. Inside, a girl's cardigan, moth-eaten but folded neat, a dried corsage pinned to the lapel. The flowers crumble when I breathe on them. Beneath the sweater, a reel-to-reel tape labeled Morning Announcements, March 14th. Curiosity pulls me to the next locker. Malcolm's. A whoopee cushion, still plump, and a chemistry textbook open to the page on spontaneous combustion. Someone has underlined the word exothermic in red. Clara's locker is last. A compact mirror, silver backing flaking, and a single ballet slipper, toe hardened with rosin. The mirror's glass is cracked in a starburst, but the reflection inside is whole. Clara at 13, twirling in an empty gym, smiling straight at me. The PA speaker down here is larger, bolted to a support beam. It crackles again. This time it's all three voices layered, around. Find us where the bell can't reach. The work lamps strobe white, then die. Darkness swallows everything. I flick my phone light back on. The beam lands on a janitor's cart abandoned mid-aisle. On it, a dusty Walkman, headphones cracked, and the exact reel-to-reel from Evelyn's locker already loaded. A post-it on the play button. Press when ready. My thumb hovers. Fear tastes metallic, like biting a battery. I press. Tape hiss. Then the gym, 1963, recorded live. Echoes of sneakers, a muffled band warming up. A girl's voice, Evelyn's, doing the announcements. Don't forget, science fair entries due third period, lab 12. Cheers. Then a boy, Malcolm, leans in. And if you smell smoke, it's just Mr. Reeves' famous volcano. Laughter. Clara's voice, close to the mic. See you all after the bell. The tape ends with a click, then rewinds itself, motor whining. The work lamps flicker back on, but dimmer, amber. The lockers are open wider now. Inside each, a single desk lamp glows, the kind with green banker shades. On every desk, a test paper, fresh, blue ink. My name at the top. Question 1. When did you first hear us? Multiple choice. None of the options are dates I recognize. Revelation settles cold. The PA isn't broadcasting to the school. It's broadcasting to me, and the roll call never ended. I think some lessons were never meant to be taught. Behind me, the stairwell door slams. The bolt shoots home. The Walkman ejects the tape. It rolls across the floor and stops at a grate in the concrete. The grate lifts an inch on its own. Cold air sighs up, smelling of ozone and lilacs. Clara's perfume, according to her yearbook quote. A pale hand emerges, fingers beckoning. The class ring glints. I back away. My heel hits the janitor's cart. It rolls forward on its own, blocking the aisle. The headphones lift, settle over my ears though I never touch them. The tape is back inside. Play button depresses. Static. Then Mr. Harrow's voice, calm as ever. Pop quiz, hotshot. Find the exit before the period ends. Hint. Mirrors lie, but reflections remember. The work lamps go out one by one, retreating down the aisle like a fuse burning backward. Darkness chases me. I run the only direction left, toward the grate, toward the hand. The concrete floor tilts, or maybe I do. My phone dies. The last thing I see is the yearbook sliding from under my arm, pages flipping to a blank one. Red ink bleeds across it, forming words. Basement level 2, sub-basement access behind boiler number 3. The grate clangs shut above me. I fall. I land on my knees in ankle-deep water, cold enough to burn. The impact knocks the breath out of me. The yearbook slaps the surface and floats like a lily pad. My phone is gone, lost somewhere in the dark. The only light is a thin red bulb above a rusted hatch labeled Boiler Number 3, 1959. The air is furnace hot and tastes of iron filings and wet pennies. Realistic anchor. Westbridge's original heating plant sits directly beneath the basement, a warren of pipes installed when the school was rebuilt after the fire. The city condemned the sub-basement in 1982 after a boiler exploded during a holiday basketball game. No one heard, but the blast peeled paint off the gym floor above. The hatch was welded shut, yet here it stands ajar, chain cut clean, the links still warm. I crawl forward. The yearbook pages soak through, ink bleeding into watercolor ghosts. The red bulb flickers Morse, short, long, short. I know that pattern. Evelyn's initials in code from the old radio club. The hatch yawns wider, exhaling steam that smells faintly of cafeteria tater tots. Curiosity drags me through. The sub-basement is a single corridor of brick, so narrow my shoulders brush both walls. Pipes overhead sweat and tick. Every 10 feet a locker is bolted to the mortar, same olive drab as upstairs, but these have no dials, only keyholes shaped like tiny screaming mouths. The floor slopes downward. Water runs in rivulets toward a drain I can't see. My socks squish. A low hum starts, not mechanical, human. 3 voices braided together, the way kids harmonize on the risers during spring concert. I know the song, the alma mater, but slowed to funeral tempo. The pipes vibrate in sympathy. I pass the first locker. The keyhole exhales cold breath. Inside, a sliver of light. Malcolm's face pressed to the slats, eyes wide, mouth moving soundlessly. He lifts a hand, points deeper down the hall. The door rattles, but doesn't open. Next locker. Clara, on point in the cramped space, slippers soaked red. She pirouettes once, slow, then taps the metal 3 times, shaving a haircut. The rhythm echoes ahead. Evelyn's locker is last. The door is open. She sits on a miniature version of Mrs. Lang's desk, legs swinging. Her cardigan is pristine now, the corsage blooming fresh white gardenias. She holds the manila folder Mr. Harrow carried. "You're late," she says, voice echoing from every pipe. Third period started 20 minutes ago. Fear arrives wet and heavy. The water is at my shins now, rising with each heartbeat. She hops down, folder tucked under her arm. "Shortcuts this way." She walks through the brick as if it's fog. I follow because the alternative is drowning in a school that refuses to forget. The corridor ends at a bulkhead door, submarine style, will lock crusted with verdigris. A plaque reads "Coal chute, disused." Realistic anchor. Before natural gas, the school burned anthracite delivered by rail spur. The chute hasn't opened since 1974. Yet the wheel spins under Evelyn's small hands, smooth as if greased yesterday. The door groans open onto a spiral stair of iron grating. Below, orange light pulses, boiler fire, though the gauge is upstairs red cold. I descend. Each step rings like a bell. Halfway down, the song stops. Silence presses so hard my ears pop. The boiler room is cathedral-sized, brick vaulted overhead. 3 furnaces squat in a row, mouths agape. The middle one burns with blue-white flame that casts no heat. Inside the firebox, the missing students, life-sized, suspended in the flames yet untouched. Evelyn stands on the catwalk above, folder open. Malcolm and Clara flank her, holding rulers like batons. "Pop quiz," Evelyn says. Question 1. Why did the fire start? Malcolm flicks his ruler. A projection blooms on the far wall, grainy 8mm film. Lab 12, 3:14 p.m. The 3 of them, younger, excited. Clara pours something from a beaker. The liquid flashes green. Malcolm jokes, knocks an elbow. The beaker tips. Flame races up a fume hood, licks the ceiling tiles. The projector bulb pops. The image freezes on their faces, terror dawning. Question 2. Clara whispers, voice from the furnace itself. Who locked the stairwell door? The film rewinds, slows. A hand, adult, male, ringed, turns the deadbolt from the outside. Mr. Harrow's class ring, same as Evelyn's, but larger. Revelation lands like a cinder in the eye. The substitute wasn't new. He was the teacher on duty that day, the one who vanished after the inquest. The school buried the report with the ashes. I think some lessons were never meant to be taught. The water from the corridor rushes down the stairs behind me, hissing into steam when it hits the grates. The flames leap higher. Evelyn closes the folder. Final question. Will you trade places? The furnace doors swing wide. Heat rolls out now, real, skin blistering. Inside each mouth, a desk, a chair, a nameplate. One is blank, waiting. I back toward the stair. The wheel lock is gone. The bulkhead has sealed. The pipes overhead burst one by one, scalding rain. Malcolm and Clara step off the catwalk, landing cat quiet. They take my hands, cold, then burning. Evelyn places the folder in my arms. It's empty except for a single blue detention slip. My name, today's date, infraction, staying after the bell. The flames roar approval. The boilers groan like old men waking. I smell my hair singeing. Then the PA speaker, somehow down here too, crackles with Mr. Harrow's voice. Time's up. Pencils down. The fire dies as suddenly as it flared. Darkness absolute. The folder is gone. My hands are empty, but the detention slip is taped to my chest, ink still wet. A single emergency bulb flickers on above the coal chute. The spiral stair is open again, leading up. Water recedes, leaving only damp footprints. Mine, and 3 smaller sets walking beside them. I climb. The wheel lock reappears, spins itself. The bulkhead opens onto the basement corridor I fell through. The grate overhead is back in place, but the chain is whole. No sign of rupture. The yearbook lies closed on the concrete, cover bone dry. When I pick it up, the pages are blank except one. A new photograph has developed. Me, standing between Evelyn, Malcolm, and Clara in the boiler room, all of us smiling like we belong. Caption beneath, Class of Forever, Third Period Eternal. The PA gives one last chime, soft as a lullaby. Class dismissed. I emerge from the basement hatch gasping, the yearbook clutched like a life raft. The main basement is quiet now, work lamps steady, lockers shut tight. The detention slip peels from my shirt and flutters to the floor, ink already fading to gray. I leave it. The stairwell door stands open, a rectangle of dim hallway light beyond. My legs move before my mind catches up. I'm back on the ground floor, shoes squishing, lungs raw from steam and fear. The trophy case waits at the intersection of the two main corridors, a long glass coffin of tarnished silver and cracked plaques. Realistic anchor, installed in 1964 to honor the first state championship after the rebuild. It's never been cleaned properly. Fingerprints from every graduating class smudge the shelves. Tonight, the glass is spotless, reflecting the emergency bulbs in perfect, cold clarity. I stop because I have to. My reflection stops a heartbeat later, like it's deciding whether to follow. In the glass, I'm pale, hair singed at the tips, uniform streaked with soot and boiler grime. Behind me, the hallway is empty. Then it isn't. Evelyn steps into frame first, cardigan buttoned to the throat. Malcolm leans on a non-existent locker, arms crossed. Clara stands on the toes of one foot, the other slipper missing. They're life-sized, solid, but the reflection casts no shadow on the tile. Their mouths move in unison, no sound. I read the shape. Look closer. Curiosity, that old traitor, pulls me in. I press my palms to the glass. It's warm, vibrating like a drum skin. The trophies inside rearrange themselves without touching. A 1963 debate medal slides forward, engraved E, heart, first place. A basketball trophy, 1962, spins so the nameplate faces me. M, Reeve, MVP. A tiny ballerina figurine pirouettes on its base until the plaque reads C. Dumont, Recital 63. The mythic element arrives in a whisper. Every school with a tragedy has a mirror story. Kids swear the trophy case shows you the moment you were supposed to die. I always laughed it off. Tonight the glass ripples like water. My reflection changes. The soot vanishes. I'm wearing a Westbridge Letterman jacket 2 sizes too big, sleeves rolled, class ring loose on my finger. The face is mine but older, 20, 30, 50. Each blink ages me another decade. Behind reflected me, the hallway fills with students in sepia tones, saddle shoes and bouffants, then bell-bottoms, then scrunchies, then earbuds. Generations pass in seconds. The 3 ghosts stay constant, always at my shoulder. Malcolm lifts a hand, taps the inside of the glass opposite my own. The surface dents inward, soft as taffy. His finger breaks through, cold against my knuckle. Trade, he mouths. Fear spikes, so hard my vision tunnels. I jerk back. The glass snaps solid again, but the reflection keeps the dent, a perfect fingerprint in the pane. My real hand is unmarked. The PA system sighs overhead, a sound like someone exhaling after holding breath for 60 years. Mr. Harrow's voice, gentle, extra credit. Face yourself. The trophy case doors unlock with a metallic sigh. Inside, the air is refrigerated, smelling of dust, and victory champagne gone flat. A single shelf has been cleared. On it sits a small hand mirror, silver-backed, identical to the one in Clara's locker. The glass is black until I lift it. Then it shows the boiler room, live feed. The 3 furnaces burn low, desks still waiting. The blank nameplate now reads my name in fresh engraving. I set the mirror down too fast. It doesn't clatter. The shelf swallows the sound. The reflection in the trophy case has stepped forward. It's me, but the eyes are wrong. Pale, colorless, Mr. Harrow's eyes. The reflection smiles with my mouth. Detention isn't over, it says, and the voice comes from my own throat. I stumble backward. The hallway behind me is no longer empty. Lockers open in sequence, doors banging like gunshots. From each spills a cascade of paper, tests, essays, report cards, all graded in red ink, all bearing my name, all dated tomorrow, next week, next year. The grades descend. A, B, C, D, F, F, F. The final sheet is blank except for the words incomplete. See me after class. Clara appears at my left, real this time, her hand slipping into mine. Cold, then warm, then burning. We tried to leave, she whispers. The mirror keeps the exit. Evelyn materializes on my right, holding the manila folder again. She opens it. Inside, a single photograph, the one Mr. Harrow showed me in room 204. But now I'm in the front row with them, arms slung around Malcolm's shoulders, the pillars behind us cracked but standing. The timestamp reads today, 11:59 p.m., 1 minute ago. Revelation is a slow bleed. The substitute didn't ask about students who died. He asked about students who never left. And I answered by staying. I think some lessons were never meant to be taught. The trophy case glass liquefies entirely, pooling on the tile like mercury. The reflection steps out, barefoot, wearing my skin. It walks past me without looking back, heading toward the stairwell. The ghosts tighten their grip. My feet move without consent, following the doppelganger. We descend in a silent parade. Me, my reflection, 3 dead kids, the echo of Mr. Harrow's shoes on the steps behind us. At the basement door, the reflection pauses. It turns, offers me the hand mirror. Last chance, it says with my voice. Look, or become the next display. I take the mirror. The glass shows the trophy case upstairs, empty now, waiting for a new medal. My name is already etched on the base. I hurl the mirror at the wall. It shatters into silver rain. Each shard shows a different year, a different me trapped behind glass, screaming without sound. The reflection laughs, my laugh, and steps through the basement door. The ghosts pull me after. The door slams. The lock engages. The PA gives one final announcement, soft as a bedtime story. Homeroom begins at midnight. Please take your seats. The basement door seals with a sound like a coffin lid. Darkness folds around us, thick and absolute. My reflection, no, the thing wearing my face, walks ahead, footsteps silent on the concrete. The ghosts flank me, hands linked through my elbows, guiding more than dragging now. The air is warmer than it should be, humid with the breath of old furnaces. Somewhere ahead, the boilers wait, patient as spiders. We pass the lockers. Their doors hang open like broken jaws. Inside each, a single desk lamp glows green. On every desk, a test paper, my name at the top, questions in red ink that drips like fresh blood. The first asks, when did you decide to stay? I don't remember writing the answer, but there it is in my handwriting, when I took the photograph. The reflection stops at the coal chute hatch. The wheel spins itself. Steam sighs out, carrying the scent of lilacs and scorched wool. My doppelganger turns. Its eyes are mine again, but older, ringed with sleepless red. Final bell, it says. Choose your seat. The sub-basement yawns below. The spiral stair is gone. Instead, a single classroom door stands in the middle of nothing, wood scarred with generations of carved initials. A brass plaque reads, Lab 12, Eternal Period. The door opens inward on its own. Inside, rows of desks, all occupied. Students I recognize from yearbook photos, from trophy case reflections, from every graduating class since 1963. They turn in unison. Their faces are blank, eyes black, mouth sewn shut with red thread. The three ghosts release me and take their places in the front row. My reflection gestures to the teacher's desk. Mr. Harrow sits there, tie straight, manila folder closed. He looks exactly as he did in room 204, except the class ring is cracked down the middle. You kept me waiting, he says, voice soft. Detention is a shared sentence. Curiosity is gone. Fear is a dull ache behind my eyes. I step inside. The door shuts. The room is larger than physics allows, stretching into brick infinity. The blackboard is alive with chalk that writes itself. Today's lesson: how to graduate when the bell never rings. The students raise their hands. Thread snaps, mouths open. A chorus, layered and ageless. We all stayed to finish the project. The fire was an accident. The door was locked from the outside. We waited for someone to let us out. Mr. Harrow stands. You heard the announcement. You followed the lights. You opened the yearbook. You chose. He opens the folder. Inside, the photograph from the first night. But now the entire senior class is present, hundreds of faces, all turning to look at me. My own face is in the center, smiling like I belong. Revelation arrives not as a shock, but as recognition. The school doesn't trap the dead. It traps the ones who answer when the dead call roll. I think some lessons were never meant to be taught. The reflection sits at the empty desk in the back row. It beckons. I walk the aisle. Each student I pass ages a year, then 10, then 50, until they crumble to dust that swirls into the air vents. The desks remain, waiting for the next class. My chair is warm. The nameplate reads substitute, permanent. Mr. Harrow lifts a bell from the drawer, the kind teachers used before the PA system. He rings it once. The sound is wrong, flat, swallowed by brick. Class begins. The ghosts turn to face forward. Evelyn opens a textbook. Malcolm sharpens a pencil that never dulls. Clara smooths her skirt. The blackboard erases itself and writes a single equation. Time equals memory divided by regret. I pick up the pencil on my desk. It's warm, pulsing. The first question appears on my paper. Describe the moment you realized you were never leaving. I write. The words flow without thought, ink black and endless. The room brightens, not with light, but with presence. Every student who ever lingered too long. Every substitute who asked the wrong question. Hours pass, or minutes. The bell rings again. Mr. Harrow nods approval. Dismissed. But no one moves. The door is gone. The walls are yearbook pages, flipping slowly, showing every photograph ever taken within these walls. My face appears in all of them now, in every era, every uniform, every smile. The reflection stands beside me. It is me, but complete, eyes calm. Trade accepted, it whispers. You keep the memories. I keep the body. I feel the shift, like shrugging off a heavy coat. The pencil drops from fingers that are no longer mine. The reflection sits, picks it up, continues writing. I rise, weightless. The ghosts smile, real smiles this time, and fade into the dust motes dancing in the non-light. Mr. Harrow closes the folder. Welcome to the faculty. He hands me the cracked ring. It fits perfectly. The bell rings a third time, softer. The room empties in a rush of wind and paper. I am alone at the teacher's desk. The manila folder is thick now, filled with new names, new photographs. The top one is fresh, a student who will stay late tonight, working on a history project about a fire that happened long before they were born. I open the basement door that wasn't there a moment ago. The stairwell waits, lit by steady fluorescence. I climb. Each step feels familiar, rehearsed. At the top, room 204 is dark, rain still tapping the windows. The class roster on the door has 31 names now. Mine is crossed out in red. A new one is added at the bottom, fresh ink, substitute, indefinite. I sit at the desk. The wobbly leg doesn't squeak anymore. Outside, footsteps echo in the hallway, hesitant, curious. A key turns in the lock. The door opens a crack. A voice, young and tired. Hello? Anyone still here? I smile the way Mr. Harrow smiled. Evening. You're the last one. The door shuts. The lock clicks. The lesson begins. The hallways are quiet now, the way only old schools get after midnight. The rain has softened to a whisper against the windows, each drop a fingertip tracing the glass. Fluorescent lights hum their low, steady lullaby, no longer flickering. Lockers stand in perfect rows, doors closed, combination dials reset to 0. Somewhere, a projector clicks off, the film reel spins to silence. I walk the corridors that know my name in every language of brick and mortar. The trophy case reflects an empty hallway, but if you stand long enough, faces appear, brief, smiling, then gone. The PA system is dark, yet every so often a chime drifts through the vents, soft as breath. No one answers. No one needs to. Papers lie scattered on a desk in room 204, a history project half finished, edges curling. A photograph is taped to the poster board, for students on the front steps, arms linked, the pillars behind them whole. The newest face is already fading, ink bleeding into the paper like a memory not ready to stay. The basement hatch is welded shut again, chain replaced, paint fresh. The boilers sleep. The yearbooks in the library shelves are closed, spines aligned, dust settling into the